Hey, welcome to week 2, fan journey and conversion. And the subject today we're talking about is getting your fans off of social media. I am TT, the manager. Welcome to Think Like a Manager. This is such timely and urgent news right now. I'm going to just skip all table of contents and all that and get into it. So get your fans off of social media. This is my trademark battle cry for music artists, creatives, and businesses that I've been yelling on social media since about 2023. And I'm not necessarily asking you to disappear from social media entirely. I'm instead reminding you that the goal every day is to get your fans and followers onto platforms not controlled by algorithms that you do not control. Get your fans off of social media. Why? Because social media is like renting a house. You're going to go rent this house and you are on income that's not stable. You don't know how much the income is going to be every month, but you know it may come in. The algorithm changes, there's shadow bans, there are platform crashes, the ownership changed hands, they decide to go bye-bye. I've been on social media platforms since since they've been invented, and so many of them have gone. There are so many platforms. People were famous on Vine. Vine was gone. TikTok, remember TikTok last year, we had a problem with it. And if you're listening to this after January 22nd, then you know that TikTok has completely changed hands. Things happen. And platforms crash, community guidelines violate. You might not have even violated and totally wiped your account, but you had a release coming today. What are you going to do? The goal is to build an audience on channels where you own and then you control the access. That is the goal. Get your fans off of social media onto platforms you control where there is no social media algorithm. And those pillars to doing that are going to be SMS, text, email, and my favorite, communities. Email is still the king of conversions. Email is still the king. Email. And I'm going to give you some tools for an email. There's Beehive, there's Flowdesk, and there's Kit, which is formerly ConvertKit. I was on ConvertKit way back in the day. My original email list was on ConvertKit. And then I was doing testing for a lot of the products and things on that. And something happened with my Exchange email where I couldn't get access back into it. So I couldn't email them all this stuff. And so I moved over to Beehive, and it was no fault of ConvertKit. Kit is amazing, is an amazing platform. Shout out to the product developers over there. They are amazing people that really do care about the product they're building. There's Beehive. So I moved over to Beehive, and Beehive has been great too. But I started writing on Substack because I wanted to actually write. And so I started writing. I opened a Substack, and that's where I am currently. So I'm sending emails through Substack. But Beehive, Flowdesk, Kit, MailChimp does not matter. But it's best for things like announcement, exclusive content, pre-saves, merch drops. Just start building emails, because when you start to run ads, if you are running ads and you're not using what are called meta custom audiences, you need 100 emails for those. And if you don't know what these custom audiences are, what Meta does is they take 100 plus emails. They take 100 people that have interacted with you, that have bought things with you, that have said, I'm a fan of yours. Here's my email address. You put their email addresses in, and Meta builds profiles based on that, on those people. So they say, these are the type of people that will like this content, so that your ads work better, so that you're not sending them to someone who's not going to like what you're putting out, so that you spend less money in the long run. Your advertising dollar goes further. If you don't if you've never built a custom audience, you've never run a custom audience, or you don't understand ads, I have that service. You can reach out to me. And if you need to run an ad like ASAP and you really need that, reach out to me and we'll talk about getting help building a custom audience and running those ads for you. You can't do a custom audience until you have at least 100 plus emails. So start building your list now so that later on you can do that. We're also going to talk about Bands in Town, which is a dope tool also for collecting emails. But do start collecting emails so when your next ad runs and you have a drop coming out, you have a real audience to advertise to promote to. Then we're going to talk about SMS text. So SMS versus email. Remember, I told you email is the king of conversions. We talked about funnels and converting our strangers into super fans where they're our advocates. And to get them through those funnels, email is great for that. And text is amazing for getting out announcements. Text versus email. So 200 out of 269 billion emails were sent and received per day. Email inboxes are cluttered and companies are competing for that small percentage of read time. And also email companies have, there's so much spam that goes on with emails that even in the last year and a half, 2 years, that there have been so many changes that we've had to do in the back end with our emails because of to ensure that our emails get delivered, because they aren't even getting delivered because of spam. If they look like spam, if you put capital, like if I put all caps in something to call something out, it's liable to get filtered. When I send out emails, I can see how many of them get delivered, and wording that I put in there, how many pictures I might put in there affects whether or not my emails get delivered. So, the open rate, though, for emails versus text is extraordinarily insane. Email open rates are about 20%. So if you send out 100 emails and 20 of them get opened, that's a 20% rate. That is good. That's when in marketing, we go, yes, that's above that. Great. SMS for text is 98%. 98% of people open their text messages. When you're looking at sending out a text versus an email, also, when you're thinking about an email, emails go into an inbox, right? There's an app that people, sometimes it don't even show up as a notification. People have their text. I'm one of these people who goes immediate. The first thing they do in their phone is turn off all notifications, except for sometimes I'll put on calls, and I've started to get better about my calls being on as a notification. Yes, I'm crazy. I'm one of the people that go to sleep at night with the phone on silent. But phone calls, text messages are on. My banking notifications I have on, but a lot of other notifications I don't get. It keeps me productive. It keeps me off of Instagram. It keeps me off of Facebook, TikTok, not to have notifications on. But I will get, like I said, I get text. So if you send me a text notification, I'm going to see it. I will see emails because I'm constantly checking those because I'm a business person, but most of your fans aren't in their emails, but they will see a text message. Also, you can't unsee what you've already seen. No matter if you think your brain, that part of your brain that recalls things quickly, forgets it. Somewhere in the back somewhere is stored there. When your eyes see a thing, it gets some back there somewhere. When a fan has seen your text message, they've seen it. You don't have to wait on them to go into the platform to open it. They've already seen merch dropping March 5th. Once again, text and SMS. SMS are the picture messages. Text is just the text. Have the highest open rates and they're the most immediate. Once you send a text, it goes out and it is the mostly 100% deliverable, where we were talking about earlier where emails sometimes don't even get delivered. Great tools for that are Laylo, Community, which Instagram owns, Postscript, and Attentive. If you're you have a very Instagram heavy community, fan base, that the community is really a good choice for you. If you use WhatsApp a lot, it looks just like WhatsApp. It is WhatsApp, technically, just in a, it's technically dressed up WhatsApp. But it's best for last minute show announcements, flash sales, and urgent call to actions like 20% off discount on my merch store. Great for that kind of stuff. Show tickets drop in right now. Great for that kind of stuff. People see it, can immediately take action. Do not forget your links. Private communities have the place in my heart. I have been screaming when I say get your fans off of social media. That's what I meant, is get your fans off of social media. And we are building communities. This is where the deepest engagement happens. And we're going to use tools like School, Discord, Circle, and Patreon. Some of you may be listening to this through School. And I would even argue that Substack is also a community building platform, because it is very much a community building platform too. But it's best for super fans. It's best for exclusivity, relationship building, and earning recurring revenue. Building these communities, you're not reaching everyone. You're not going to follow 6,000, 10,000 people like on Instagram, but I promise you, these people that are in your community are the most valuable people that you can touch. So when we talk about conversions, and this week we're talking about conversions and funneling, what that means it really means what it says. You're taking a bunch of people that are out there, those prospective people, all of those, and funneling them down into this smaller amount of people that are actually going to do the thing. And you're not expending time on people that aren't going to do the thing. Another app I wanted to talk about that's an alternative outside of that you can use as a tool when you're in these communities or you're sending out text or emails is Untitled. A lot of you share music and you're wanting to share these before pre-release music snippets, and even if you needed to send music to an A&R or a playlist, Untitled is a superb music sharing app. It has secure file sharing. You can organize your music in folders. You can see who listened to it. You can upload from iMessage, AirDrop in your files. It lets you work offline. It gives you password protection, and you can share snippets to social media. I know specifically to Instagram, it does share snippets there. Bands in town. I cannot say enough about Bands in Town. This is from their description says, sell more tickets, grow your fan base, and market your music. Over 90 million music fans use Bands in Town, discover live music, and follow their favorite artists. I am not joking. Bands in Town is that hidden community of people that you didn't know existed that were sitting in plain sight. These people come. I am one of them. I was a member of Bands in Town before I became a music in the music industry, because I was following artists that I liked and that I loved, that I was fans of. And when they come to town, I would see when they come near me and I would go to shows. Bands in Town, people on Bands in Town are very valuable. It's very valuable people because, like I said, they're there to discover music. That's why they're there. They want to know when your concerts are happening. They want to know when you go on tour. They want to know when you drop music. These are real music fans. Over 90 million of them. When I talk about wasted efforts, you can reach 90 million people on Instagram who are just random 90 million people, and some of them are music fans, or you can reach 90 million actual music fans and have your events show up on Shazam, Apple Music, and Spotify. But the best thing to me is these push notifications. They get push notifications directly to their phones. There are not many apps that do that. You can say new music out Friday, And Instagram is not going to push that notification out directly to every person, all 10,000 people that are subscribed to you, but Bands in Town will. If you say my new music is dropping March 30th, your fans are going to be there. They will get the notification. And then you can see how many you converted over. You have some, the analytics need to get a lot better, but there are analytics there where you can see how things worked. Once you get their emails, you can take their emails from Bands in Town because they've given you permission to email them and put them back into a more robust analytics heavy email provider and see more of those analytics. But I promise you, invest in Bands in Town, which is free, $99. Invest your time. When I say invest your time into Bands in Town, and you will see a nice return on investment, especially when you go to perform shows. So how to capture your fans off platform. Use social media, post and video for awareness, link in bios and call to actions for interest. We're going to use lead magnets and incentives to get people in the consideration stage to convert over. And we're going to use email, SMS, and community signups to convert them and to build an ongoing relationship for loyalty. Some examples of conversion, how to convert people. We're going to say free unreleased track when you join my email list. We're going to say text me for VIP pre-sale access to my show. Join my private community for behind the scenes content. Pre-save, you're going to capture emails with your pre-save campaigns. You're going to give exclusive Discord for $5 a month. Come join my exclusive Discord. And some real, really, when you do this right, how this works is you have all of these people that are in Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. You nurture those people. You keep them. You've been sending out lyric videos and doing this freestyles and doing all of this work for all of these people, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. You start sending out emails. Join my email if you want this. If you really like what you see, join my email so you know when I come to your city. Know when I'm going to perform. I'm going on tour next week. You've been doing this work. People are signing up. Let's say you get 110 emails. When you're running these campaigns, you have 110 of people that have said out of all of Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube that have said, I want you to contact me. You put those emails into Meta, custom audiences when you run an ad, and you get great ads back. They see that your show's coming up. You've also emailed them that your show's coming up. So now they've seen it in an email and they're getting an ad. And then you might have them in a text, and you might text them later about it. This isn't all happening. Sometimes it's happening in a day and your brains don't even notice. But you need to be doing what I'm going to drop right now, which is called the rule of 7, which we know in marketing is that people need at least 7 touch points before they take an action, before they buy. So people need to be seeing this stuff constantly, even if it different ways. Be creative about and strategic about the ways. But now you've got 110 people, 110 email addresses. You run a custom audience that has done a great job with ads. Now your merch is coming out. You're emailing and texting them, and then you're talking about it on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all these places. And then out of those people that you've been texting and emailing that have been sitting there in that stage waiting, when you release that music or merch, a percentage of those people are going to buy. So what happens later on is you have a set of people that buy from you. They all have something in common. And then you'll start to understand that, and your advertisements and the way that you think content will be pointed to those people. And then you'll start to see that you attract more of those people, and your work will be less energy, and you'll get more return on that effort. That is how it works in real life. And you will start to get money because the people that spend money on you, you will know what those people look like. And you will start to attract more of those people because you will know how to run a correct ad, and you will be nurturing those people in your communities, and those people will run out and tell other people that are like them. Your homework to get your fans off of social media is you're going to pick one channel, one own channel, whether it's email, SMS, text, or community like Discord. You're going to start a Substack. You're going to start an email group. You're going to start texting in Laylo. Whatever it is, pick one and set it up. And then you're going to create one simple lead magnet. And you're going to start moving people off of those rented platforms and onto platforms you control right now. And you're going to use the Fan Journey worksheet to map this out. I have put a worksheet together to help you do this. So I'm going to share that also with you, because how are you going to do it if you don't have the worksheet? Anyway, silly TT. But use the Fan Journey worksheet to map it out and get your fans off of social media. And if you are in school, our next lesson, we're going to learn how to turn those fans into super fans. We're going to get specific strategies on how to do this. If you haven't joined me on school, do that now. It's going to be in the comments, descriptions, stories, wherever I can post links. TikTok, I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers so that I can start to post links. Once again, I'm TT the manager. See you next time where we're talking about turning fans into super fans. Peace.